Okay, then we are freaking back. Hello, Checky here. Okay, we're back with this series of the first Roman emperors. The successor of Tiberius, we have Caligula over here. How did Caligula come to power? History of the Roman Empire, 37 AD, 41 AD. This video is by Knowledgeia, so go check them out. I will leave the video that we're going to watch right now into this description box and to the pinned comment, so go check that out. Show your appreciation, and then you can come back to my video. So yeah, without further ado, let us begin. Also, don't forget to basically like and subscribe if you like this video, and comment down below your opinion on my reaction, because that will help me a ton. So let us begin.
Rome had despised
In collaboration with Ancient Side. Most likely the next video is going to be again covering an Ancient Side video. I really enjoyed the Justin and Tiberius video, so go check out that video as well. Pretty nice reaction. So let's begin. Rome had despised and feared Emperor Tiberius.
and feared Emperor Tiberius.
Hmm.
But nothing he had ever done in his lifetime would prove to be as horrendous as his failure to prevent Caligula from taking his place after his
I would say Caligula is a pretty underrated emperor. Actually, overhated, but underrated for his, you know, decent actions as emperor. He wasn't all that bad, honestly. It's just his like the contemporaries at the time, describes Tiberius, Caligula, Nero as crazy monsters. But in reality, I don't think that was the case.
death. The Viper, the mad emperor, was a ticking time bomb.
And it's crazy. Ever since Augustus, ascension as princeps, and as emperor of the newly formed empire of Rome, the the state kept growing even after the fall of the republic. That's crazy to me, because I would think that after a reform of a state, it would take some time until lands could be incorporated. But Rome defied all the odds.
At the start of Caligula's reign at the helm of the Roman Empire, he was described as being beloved by all in the world, from the rising to the setting sun.
Yep.
The Roman people were so
Obviously, like every emperor at the beginning of the reign, actually every leader, like even presidents at the beginning of the reign, their popularity is super high, and their opinion of the population is super high and positive about that leader. And gradually, as they go into their reign, as they go into their term, obviously the popularity grows stagnantly and goes down slowly but surely.
overtly enthusiastic about the death of Tiberius that they would have likely adored any successor who seemed at the very least to be an okay human being. Caligula particularly also had the advantage of being a son of the treasured Germanicus.
Oh, yeah.
And in the early months of his rule, he was fairly mild and cheerful. He portrayed himself as generous, playful, and a lavish spender in a way that also seems to benefit the public. The
Makes
new
sense.
emperor was putting on extravagant gladiatorial games and handing out money to both the peasant class and the aristocracy for no obvious reason.
I think that was to gain loyalty. Every emperor of Rome, and maybe every ruler of each state, upon their ascension, they had to somehow bribe, quote unquote, like they had to earn the loyalty and support from their followers, basically. Like it was a must, especially in the late imperial period, to literally give out, ranks and titles and money and privileges to your, supporters, and to your, to the peasants, and to the people that support you, and follow you.
He gave new honors and privileges to his surviving relatives and lay his deceased to rest at the mausoleum of Augustus. The citizenry saw a fun, compassionate, and kind ruler in place of the former solemn and dark Tiberius, and this made Caligula even more popular.
Yeah, makes
But if
sense.
fame couldn't go to the man's head, it would be his illness,
Hmm.
7 months into his reign, that
Damn.
did. In the fall of 37 AD, Caligula became severely unwell with anything from an epileptic attack
Hmm.
to poisoning to
Damn.
some sort of psychotic break.
That's
Whatever
crazy.
the ailment was, it became so grave that the Roman people believed their emperor was on his deathbed,
Whoa.
and thus wept and lamented the presumed loss of their so loved ruler.
Hmm.
It is said that even some senators prayed for the man's recovery,
Hmm.
asking the gods to take them instead of Caligula.
Wow.
Thankfully for their sake, the emperor would survive, and so would they.
Hmm.
But something was not quite right anymore.
Hmm?
Caligula had changed not just physically. With
Oh.
the illness's departure, it appeared that part of the emperor's sanity had gone with it.
Yeah, maybe some psychological trauma happened that led to, some questionable decisions after his illness.
The year after his near-death experience, Caligula threw all Roman precedent aside when he
Hmm.
defied his recently deceased sister Drusilla,
Huh?
whom he had loved so dearly that many spoke whispers of a possible incestual relationship.
What?
He furthermore seemed to have already forgotten about his earlier decision to do
Damn.
away with the unjust and political trials and executions of his predecessor. And
Hmm.
now Caligula, too, was happily ending lives for so much of the slightest slip-up.
Damn.
Even the Praetorian commander and former friend of the Emperor Macro seemed to displease Caligula by simply holding notable enough power for the changed ruler to feel threatened.
Whoa.
Macro, along with Gemellus, Tiberius's intended co-heir, was forced to commit suicide.
Damn, that's
Some
crazy.
speculate that the leading motive for the sudden uptick in executions was more to do with garnering public funds than with Caligula's newfound depraved lunacy.
Interesting.
But this may not have
Sorry for not commenting as much. This is all new to me, by the way.
always been the case. Still, the
Wow.
emperor was known to seize estates upon execution, institute new taxes, and utilize many other forms of income after 39 AD, brought about an undeniable financial crisis caused by Caligula's earlier spending.
Okay.
Of course, not everything that the emperor did was suddenly wrong. Some of Caligula's public reforms were quite liked, such as his decisions to publish accounts of public funds.
Hold on. Let me just fix this quality. There we go. That's better.
Something that Tiberius had refused to do. He also went on campaigns in both Gaul and Germany, which accomplished all but nothing. There was such an absence of success and battle, in fact, that Caligula ordered his men to gather seashells on the beach, which would be displayed as spoils of victory.
The frick?
This was
Bro, that's what me and my childhood friends will do, basically.
scarcely the strangest thing that the mad emperor did, however. For one, it's said that Caligula enjoyed utterly terrorizing the Senate, even joking with the men that his horse would be as good a consul as any of the recent picks. This wasn't as bad
I heard about that story. That Caligula made his horse a consul.
as the way he would make some senators run alongside his chariot for miles. But this even was still better than what he allegedly did to a priest's assistant.
Huh?
It's remarked that during an animal sacrifice, the emperor intentionally brought the mallet down on the innocent man
What the heck?
instead of the animal he was holding in place.
Damn.
It's also said that Caligula rather enjoyed reminding people, including his own wife, that he could have them murdered at any time if he only said the word.
Whoa.
He cherished watching people suffer, and the caring,
So
fun
he was power hungry.
old Caligula was dying more and more as every sun set and rose.
Interesting. So far, only negative things.
Countless stories exist of Caligula's dwindling sanity. Others, though not violent, show his deeply self-centered nature, such as his decision to gather so many merchant ships to create a bridge across the Bay of Baiae
Huh?
that there was a grain shortage and limited famine.
Damn.
The reason why the emperor did this is said to have been because of a prophecy, which had stated that Caligula would no more become emperor than he would drive his chariot across the Bay of Baiae.
Huh?
Thus, the bridge was created, and Emperor Caligula pompously rode across the bay, back and forth for hours on end.
Damn.
He also hoped so deeply to become a god that he simply defied himself.
Damn.
Caligula ordered his own statues and temples to be built. Despite minor successes in expanding the Roman Empire and managing revolts, it appears that no one remembers much aside from the accusations of insanity, sexual perversion, adultery, violence, sadism, betrayal, and so much more.
Yep.
Many of the citizenry, both peasantry and nobility, were growing tired of Caligula's new form already. There had already been one conspiracy to take down the emperor, led by his brother-in-law, Marcus Aemilius Lepidus.
Wait.
Lepidus.
Lepidus, wasn't he like the one descendant from the another name named Lepidus from the first triumvirate or a second triumvirate? It was the second triumvirate.
Was executed. But that had done nothing to stop the rapidly growing resentment toward the man who so much of Rome had had such high hopes for.
Interesting.
On January 24th, 41 AD, while out enjoying the festivities at the Palatine Games in the Cryptoporticus, Cassius Chaerea, with the support of his fellow Praetorian guardsmen and some of the Senate whom Caligula had so ruthlessly bullied and bruised, pulled out a whetted blade and brought it down, slicing directly into the emperor's flesh.
Damn, that's how he
mob
goes
of
out.
supporters briskly joined in, revealing their own knives to stab Caligula again
What
and
the
again.
heck? Damn.
The mad emperor, born Gaius Julius Caesar, was dying a death eerily similar to that of his namesake.
What an irony.
A conspiracy led by a man named Cassius and resulting in over 30 stab wounds once more killed a Caesar. The
Damn.
immediate aftermath of the assassination was chaotic. Some, such as Chaerea, hoped for the armed forces to collectively support the Senate, but the Praetorian Guard in particular was hesitant, knowing that their existence relied heavily on the reigning of an emperor. Thus, while the anti-imperial faction sought out Caligula's wife Caesonia and their one-year-old daughter Julia Drusilla, the Praetorians scoured the palace for their new emperor. Caesonia was killed, and her daughter's head was violently smashed against a wall until she, too, was passed.
What the heck? That's just cruel. A 1-year-old. A freaking 1-year-old.
Meanwhile, the guardsmen, specifically one by the name of Gratus, ripped aside a palace curtain to find the cowering and desperate Claudius, uncle to Caligula, and the last man anyone would expect to inherit the Roman Empire.
Claudius.
And yet, without hesitation, the Praetorian Guard decided this was their new emperor.
Damn. That's
Tiberius
crazy, bro.
Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus.
That's his full name. That's a long ass name. Because the Kaiser Augustus at this point was just names. It wasn't titles, honestly. It wasn't honorific titles. So it was Tiberius Claudius Kaiser Augustus Germanicus. Actually, it was called Germanicus. Yeah, Tiberius Claudius Kaiser Augustus Germanicus. Damn, that's a long name.
Was born on August 1st, 10 BC.
Whoa, even before the death of Augustus himself. Interesting.
To Antonia Minor. He was the grandson of Mark Antony and Emperor Augustus's sister Octavia, the younger brother of the hero Germanicus.
Interesting.
In his early years, young Claudius began to show signs of physical disability, one that many scholars have now theorized to be cerebral palsy.
Wow.
Claudius
I don't know about that, about this, what you call it, this disease or whatever this is, but sounds serious.
Struggled with symptoms such as tremors, a
Hmm.
stammer, a limp, and other noticeable ailments.
Interesting.
As a sad consequence of his time and familial status, the young boy quickly became the target of ridicule and neglect from his own relatives due to
Hmm.
his disability.
Interesting. Yeah.
As he
Similar
aged,
to Octavianus himself, actually.
despite his symptoms becoming less overbearing and his growing knowledge and oratory skills thanks to tutoring from
Hmm.
Livy and Sulpicius Flavus,
Oh, Livy. Okay, that's a name I know.
Claudius still fails to earn a proper chance in the eyes of his family.
Hmm.
Too soon, he chose to begin writing a dangerously honest account of
Hmm.
Rome's civil wars, which,
Oh,
for Augustus, was far too critical. His
interesting.
sister, Claudius's mother, intervened in the matter and prevented the work from being completed.
Damn. That's how politics are, actually, you know? The victors write their own, stories.
It seems that as the years went on, the family's
Hmm.
disgust towards the young man only grew, and one could scarcely tell that Claudius was even part of the family at all.
Hmm.
Even as control of the empire shifted to Tiberius, there came no allowance for Claudius to enter public life at all. Ironically, the Senate and other members of Roman citizenry seemed to be quite fond
Hmm.
of Claudius.
Interesting.
Whether it was in opposition to the imperial family
Or because of pity.
or simply because they liked the man, it likely varied. But nonetheless, it would be blatantly false to say that Claudius was abhorred by all.
Hmm.
And even within his family, Claudius would find an unexpected
Interesting.
ally in Caligula.
Oh, okay.
It would be the mad emperor who would finally break Claudius into the political realm,
Hmm.
making him co-consul in 37 AD.
Oh.
Of course, Caligula enjoyed taunting and torturing everyone within eyesight or earshot, and Claudius was no exception to this sadistic hobby.
Damn.
But he nevertheless was finally getting the opportunity he'd been wanting.
Hmm.
When the assassination plot against Caligula was being discussed, according to some historians, Claudius was well aware of it and
Oh.
simply did nothing to stop it. Having departed from the games shortly before Caligula was attacked, however, Claudius quickly realized that the Imperial German bodyguard, remaining faithfully loyal to their emperor, was taking down anyone that seemed even slightly connected to the conspiracy.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, it was rapidly becoming glaringly obvious that on the other end, Cassius was determined to wipe out Caligula's family entirely.
Wow. Yeah.
This led Claudius on the run, ending up in the palace where Gratus found him cowering behind the curtain.
Yeah.
But the Praetorians weren't there to kill him. They were there to name him Princeps and rush him off
Interesting.
to safety under their own protection.
Okay.
The Senate was now reluctantly forced to confirm Claudius as the new ruler of the Roman Empire.
Interesting backstory for Claudius. Okay, so this was the video, guys. This was the video. Okay, pretty interesting video. Pretty short video as well, but that's about it, I guess. Interesting. I actually I forgot this video is about Caligula, not about Claudius, but I kind of am excited for Claudius now. But yeah, Caligula seemed pretty interesting, honestly. Uh, the horse, bro. The horse being consul. Okay, that's kind of funny, but like, I'm not sure. Actually, there is some truth. I think there is some truth to Caligula's, story. But then again, I think it was exaggerated, like how media is today with exaggeration of politics. So I strongly believe that Caligula was not a normal guy, but definitely not a crazy guy, right? I would say he had some psychological trauma, and because of that, he was treated differently towards the end of his life, and that's why he gave in to the madness, kind of. As for Claudius, I can't wait to find out more about him, and that's Nero. I hope Nolegia has you know um documentary about Claudius. I really want to check him out. So yeah, but anyways, this was the episode. I hope you guys liked it. My reaction, please comment down below. What do you think of my reaction? I tried not to talk as much because usually up until now I just post the video every 5 seconds and literally give a commentary of at least 10 minutes. I make this video like, let's say if I post the video every 5 minutes and just like commented, then this video will be like at least 30 minutes, you know. So I try to keep it short. So yeah. Anyways, this was it. My name is Checky, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.